control here. So we're going to call this meeting of the Alva Tourism Tax Committee to order. The first will be discussion and action on the minutes of the June 22nd, 2022 meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Hold on. That's my pen quit working. Linda and it's Terry, right? Sorry. All right. Melinda? Yes. Scott?
Yes.
Terry? Yes. Connor?
Yes.
Norval?
Yes. Next is discussion and action of the June financial report.
Okay, so since the city has a different outside source, in the packet is the one that they sent me, and then I put the updated quarterly report on your front. So there's that. And starting off, we have $613,144.68, $150,000 to the Alva Arena Authority, $6,000 to the NWOJRA for June, $6,000 for the NWOJRA for July, $14,250 for the Cars, Concerts, and Barbecue Contest, $3,700 to the Alva's Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise, $27,700 to the Big Cruise and Car Show, $8,800 to the Nessatunga Arts Festival, $3,500 to the 3rd Annual NWOSU Summer Baseball Tournament, $2,080 to the Oklahoma Today, $5,000 for Future, $2,500 for Standing, which leaves us with $386,034.68. And Norval has signed the Oklahoma Today one, the baseball tournament, Nessatunga, and he has the Cars, Concerts, and the barbecue contest. And the barbecue one was under budget, and so was the Nessatunga Arts Festival.
Do you have the amounts on those?
I think $10,000 for the car one, and the Nessatunga one was, I think, 7 something.
Terry, sort through these here.
But the other ones were the same amount.
Oh, I don't have, you already have the master
Yeah.
agreement. Yes. All I have is barbecue one, and it's $10,250.
Thank you.
So, our amount available after obligations, just for this committee's knowledge, is $41,500 less than it was at this time last year.
Is it appropriate to talk about the Import Tax Commission collecting the money? Like, how do we get that done? Do we need to appoint like a subcommittee to do that so that we can make sure that our collections are reconciled with what the hotels are actually collecting?
Yes, and I think we,
I mean, we talked about last time.
right.
So I just didn't know what the next step was in the process, just to make sure it doesn't fall through.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, come back, Kelly.
Kelly.
So, that kind of brings me, if you haven't read our total ordinance on this, you should read that because the city clerk has actually a lot of power about going after those hotels, or whoever he designates the power to.
Right.
What's,
So the question that I had was just, we talked about last time having the Oklahoma Tax Commission collect this is part of the taxes that they collect from the hotels. Because if, I understand that it's no charge to us. It's just a service that they provide while they're collecting everything else, they collect that. So I was wondering what the next step is to make that happen, but they said we needed you to talk to us about that.
The issue is we're slow collecting reports or payments from the hotels for their tax.
Yeah.
I'll have to, I remember these conversations, this was Angelica was still here.
Yeah.
Let me figure out some answers and I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Either email you in between the meetings or have something for you the next meeting.
I just didn't know if we need to appoint a subcommittee to work on that, or if that was, like.
You can, I don't know that you need to, but you can.
Okay, well, we can wait till you find out, and then we can figure out the process.
Okay.
So, I don't think anybody's, not doing what they're supposed to do. I just think that, it seems like we have hotels where we don't have anything and then we collect a whole bunch. And then, so it's like, how do we keep that on a consistent basis so we know what we have to award to people?
Right. And there was, I don't know, Norval, you might remember, Terry, you might remember, back when, it was still when Joe Don was here though, there was even talk from this, the committee, the board here, about having an audit of the hotel tax to see if.
We actually
Yeah.
passed a motion to do that.
Yeah, we budgeted $15,000 for it.
$15,000 for it, yes.
Did it ever happen?
No,
Okay. I didn't.
we passed it on to the city and it didn't happen.
Well, I'll follow up on that as well.
That might be a good place to start.
Yeah, it's been about a year ago, a year and a half ago.
It'd be good to have that information, especially if we're going to make a change.
Yeah.
But, and that's what I was just saying, in our ordinance, actually, the city clerk can demand from those hotels, he's supposed to be able to walk in and say, I need a copy of the records
From your sales tax.
of your sales tax from the city. So, it's really interesting if you read the whole ordinance, which is about a 30-minute process.
Yeah, it's quite heavy.
There is a lot of
It's
really
very-
interesting things in
Yeah.
there.
It's very interesting.
So, Jody, this packet of reports, it's something it's a little different than what we've had in the past.
Yeah, because of the outside source for them doing it.
So will it always be the outside source?
That's another.
Kelly,
So, Angelica, when she was the business manager, handled our accounting. And with her leaving, the council has elected to go with an outside firm to handle our accounting, and that firm is Crawford and Associates. Jennifer Traxler is our primary representative for our city, and basically we're pretty well keeping her busy full-time, it feels like. So, but the benefit of that is we have somebody that is well-versed in municipal finance, all these different types of taxes, and if she takes a vacation, there's still somebody there at the company that will be able to handle our business, get reports for us and that sort of thing. So for the foreseeable future, yes, we are using an outside firm.
And she's been very helpful, so.
Oh yeah, she's been great.
Finance committee's been smooth and very.
She's on top of it.
Very clear.
Yeah.
Just
I thought our reports were easy to read. So,
I think probably if you get your budget report, probably in the future we're working with Encode to have a percentage out to the side. So what percentage of your budget have you spent? Kind of
so that's cool.
a line, and that'll be built into that report. I'm not going to promise it next month, but working on that.
There were some of these pages though that I could not correlate why they were even there. Like this one, the detailed yield determinants report, page 1. I'm like, what is that? It goes back to 7/21/21, and then it has some of the things we spent money on, but not all of the things we spent money on. Totals $93,000, but what does it mean? And why is it there?
I think it's everything that we've approved.
It's not everything we've approved.
But is that stuff that's just not been
There's stuff
reconciled
like
yet?
Ranger Rodeo isn't in there.
Oh, yeah.
and
But
There's
it's
a lot of
already-
things
but
that
the
aren't.
Range Radio's already been paid for, right?
Right, but some of this stuff has been paid for a long time ago, like the bowl battle.
Ah, yeah, that should come off.
I didn't know if that was what the R was to the
Maybe
side,
it's
that
the
meant that it was reconciled. or
Is it the remaining PO? Like,
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I
like
just thought it was
the
stuff we
R,
hadn't
is it
paid
the
out yet.
remaining?
Well, yes, the things that already been paid wouldn't be remaining, right?
Right.
Yeah, I felt like, yeah, it says amount outstanding, like we haven't paid, we've budgeted, we've approved all these, and some of them probably just need to drop off, they didn't get reconciled.
That's what I'm
maybe.
wondering,
So not reconciled yet.
Yeah. because they have been paid.
Then if they haven't
Some
been
have.
reconciled into the deal, all our
I
numbers
don't-
are skewed,
I
right?
don't know.
Yes.
Another question for me?
Yeah, they don't understand what you're looking at.
What are you looking at?
I can show you here.
July last year.
This is the report for the year-end report for,
But it's not all of
It
this
is, it
stuff.
goes through 5/31/22. I just think.
did we write any checks in June?
I mean, there's things like the college rodeo and the junior rodeos and some tournaments and stuff that are not
I
in
mean,
there.
I can check and verify that we didn't write any checks in June, but the date range is through June 30th.
Yeah, I feel like it
Right,
just didn't get reconciled. But
But,
yeah, year to date, it didn't happen maybe.
but these are all the way back to 7/21.
Right, that's the last fiscal year.
Right,
We're in the first month now of this fiscal year.
right,
That's all the same year.
right, but why are just these listed?
I don't know enough about what you've agreed to spend to answer that question.
We agreed to spend all of this, but
We have
Do you
spent
think you've
other
agreed to
things
spend
too.
more?
we've paid some
We've paid other things that aren't
that aren't
on
on
there.
there.
We'll get it reconciled,
Yes.
get it figured out.
There is a blank page that says POs, partial report, POs not verified against general ledger.
POs are not verified.
I don't know.
Almost like the report ones that we have that have never been entered something.
Yeah, put in.
I tell you what, if you'd like, I'll get Jennifer to be available for the next meeting, and she can explain this better than I can.
That would be great.
And if you get to the fourth page of that encumbered report, it says status outstanding. report containing everything that they have in the record, and those are the ones that are outstanding. So that either means that they got slipped, didn't get put into the system yet, or
Yeah, because I know some of them have been paid.
so. Those specific items. But anyway.
So do we want to approve this financial report or table it till she comes?
That's just a new item that was put in there before. We've never had that page.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, but otherwise our financials are
There's usually a page in there that tells
the
what we've
outstanding.
agreed, yeah, outstanding, yeah.
Okay.
I think we just,
I mean, Jennifer's good. I mean, if everybody feel more comfortable with her coming and kind of breaking it down and explaining things. I mean,
I want to make everybody feel better.
it doesn't hold anything up to table.
Okay.
I move that we table the financial report.
Motion to table it, second.
Sorry.
Melinda,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Terry,
aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Roll.
Yes. All right, next is discussion and action on the Northwest Mural Fest, not to exceed $7,150.
Okay, so we're back again. We had our first one last year, and a few things have changed a little bit. Last year, we had requested $6,500, and of that, we actually used $4887.16. Different this year, we're having it, well, the same on Parents' Day, so with Northwestern, so we have people in town. Instead of 3 artists, we're doing 4. Working on building up to having, I think, at least 4 food trucks. We'll still have the fun run, we'll still have the t-shirt sales, and we'll do the Friday evening Meet the Artist at Graceful Arts, and the game, I understand, is at 3 o'clock, so we're going to try to have all of our stuff Saturday from fun run in the morning till the game, 3 o'clock. So we'll have food trucks from lunchtime, we'll have music, we'll have different things for children downtown, maybe the little train, and we'll have face painting, things like that. So with that, this year, we are requesting $7,150, which is about just over 35% of our total. We're asking for artist fee, $2,000 of that, our wall prep, which our locations this year, not all are wanting to paint right on the bricks, so there is going to be a little more. We'll have to do panels and do a little more prep there. And with 4 of them, our advertising, we're asking for $2,500 of that, and Artist Hotel, help with that, $650. Questions?
I just want to tell you guys, thank you for doing this. I mean, I know it's all volunteer, and we really appreciate it.
It should be a fun day.
Days.
Days.
Yeah.
Days.
Need more of these types of
Lots of days.
things.
Which means hotels,
So
food.
there's still the artist signing on Sunday where they finish the painting on Sunday, then sign and do all that.
Correct.
Yes.
So it should be a full thing from Friday, Saturday, into Sunday morning.
It's a really positive thing.
And I don't know if you've seen the wings that were attached to the sanctuary, and one of our murals should be behind the wings. We'll work on a platform. The other locations, we're talking to several, so we don't have those 100% locked down, and once we do that, that's when we correlate with each artist that we've chosen to come. And then they work with the drawings, and the owner of the building and the artist get to decide exactly what that's gonna be, so, with our approval too, but, yeah.
I move that we approve 7150 for the Alva Mural Society.
Second.
Melinda,
Yes.
Connor,
Yes.
Terry,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Norm.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brenda.
We'll see you
Please
all
tell
there.
Please tell your committee they're doing a great job.
Well,
Thanks.
Next is discussion action on the Alva Chamber of Commerce presentation of memorandum of understanding fiscal year 2023.
Okay, so,
This gets better every time.
It does,
we do
doesn't it?
So I'm kind of like,
So-
maybe we don't approve it and see what
I
happens
know,
again.
we'll just see what's going, we'll get a bigger screen.
When I walked in and Marianne was there, I was like, what is going on?
Now, mostly, we do want to, or I do, I want to thank you guys for making this a little bit more difficult, because I do feel like it was needed. And I felt like we needed to put a lot more time into what we're asking and what we're telling you, and kind of educating you on what we've done so far and where we want to take it. So I would like, Megan Lear, I'm the vice president of the chamber right now, Melissa's the president, and the four of us have worked very hard on getting all of our ducks in a row, because a little bit of a fiasco last time, and I apologize for that because we weren't all exactly on the same page. So this all, I think, has been a very positive thing for you guys. So I'm going to come stand behind Norval, if you don't mind, and go through a little bit of this so I'm not in your way. So we have been around since 1936, so that's kind of something to be proud of for Alva. To start off, here's our team. So those listed are all a pretty vital piece of what makes the chamber run and be as successful as it has been. What we've been focusing mostly is we went through, beginning in 2020, October, we went through a pretty heavy, in my opinion, because that was the first year I was on it, and a strategic planning whole scenario. So we came up with a new logo, jazzed that up a little bit, went through a SWOT to figure out where we were at, where we needed to go, and what we needed to work on. Core values, mission statement, 3-year action plan. We developed and implemented a budget. And we also have been focusing a lot on the visitor center. So if you've been to the visitor center, you can see that there's been a lot of upgrades to the inside of that. And I'll show you some pictures of that later. And then tourism. Updating the website, or getting the website going, keeping it alive. We've got some statistics to show you on that, to where that's grown, as well as increasing the social media portion of that. So here's our core values, short and sweet. On our strategic plan, it's much stronger than that, and put out kind of like the documentation you guys have for your ordinance and your bylaws. So we've gone through all of that, and worked very hard to develop our core values. So we want to have intentional leadership amongst our staff, our board members, make sure that we are speaking on behalf of Alva. Support strategic community partnerships, and that's kind of where the board tourism comes into play. You are a community partner with us. Promote growth and development of our businesses and industries. Promote tourism events, so getting the venues, institutions, lawmakers, everybody together working towards a better Alva. Our mission statement is 4 simple things. We're going to promote businesses, enhance economic community development, deliver tourism marketing, and catalyze quality of life in Alva. So this is short and sweet. I'm not going to go through all of these, but these are kind of our 3-year action plan goals that we came up with as a chamber board. And if you see the check marks behind it, that means we've already hit them, and they're ongoing. So it's not hit them and leave them, it's continuing to grow. So we've done a really, really good job of that, and I mean, honestly, we've worked really hard to get all of those taken care of and at least started. We are working on growing membership, and we're also planning, the one underneath goal area 3, planning to get more training and support programs set up for our businesses so that we can get a local business together to talk, all of business to talk about cybersecurity insurance, or how to use your local bank for some of your payroll needs. Talking about technology needs. So kind of we're working through that, and that's going to be on the list for next year. Some of the other things that Chamber has really grown in the last year is Chamber newsletter. This is part of Emma's role to create this, and this is just a sampling from last week's when we had crazy days. So kind of blasting all the information, checking with the merchant, saying, what do you need from us? What are you selling? What can we do for you? And if you don't understand that, that's a very big job. So there's back and forth all day long. Whenever you call, maybe get a message, got to call them back. There's a lot of back and forth to create that. And then we're sponsoring ads in the newsgram. So we got the double trunk last week for Crazy Days, and that's a very good looking ad. It catches your attention. I feel like the marketing side of things is really, really positive. Visitor Center. So we've upgraded the inside, made it look a lot more modern. When you walk in, it feels comfortable, it's approachable, it's not stiff and out of date. It makes you come in and want to ask some questions about what's going on in Alva. And also ADA accessibility. So that's a pretty big deal, especially for our chamber director, as well as anybody else that comes to visit. So that's a big piece that we're very, very proud of. And that was all from chamber funding.
And I will say too, that was around March of 22, right? And yeah, it's ongoing.
That we finished it. There's still some blank areas that need some jazzing up, but overall, we're pretty proud of it. All right, another thing that we're pretty proud of is the success of the Chamber Bucks over the last 10 years. So we have inputted over 93,000 into the Alva community through Chamber Bucks, and that's kind of a highlight. I think earlier they were talking about doing a celebration of some sort when we get to 100,000. All right, so other things that we're excited about. Chamber website. So we are ranked 1 if you type in Alva Chamber. So yay, right? The next one is our Facebook page. The next one is Visit Alva, which is you guys'. So we're all pumped about that until you click the link. And then it's a little less exciting. So that is, of course, us acknowledging that we've got work to do and that we have a direction we want to go. So that's some of the things that we've been focusing on the last year haven't quite gotten there. So that is on our strategic goal, is to get that going. And then link it to the tourism website so it's kind of together commingled in our strategic partnership. So other areas that we feel pretty good about our accomplishments is we grew the chamber membership in the last year. We've also had the largest chamber gala, however you would like to say that, and made more money from that one than we have in the past, with a lot more merchants donating things for the silent auction. So that was a pretty big event. And we've also enhanced our social media, and if you haven't noticed that, you're not looking in the right places, I think, because it really is very, very professional. All right, this is a little harder to see, and you have it in your packets, but we wanted to highlight some of the digital media insights, and that just means it's the number behind the social media, the digital stuff. So the first one on the left is the constant contact email marketing. So since it started in October of 2020, we've sent 25,000 emails, 10,000 have been open, making that 44% of an open rate, which is 8% more than the industry standard. So that's really positive.
One
Yes,
last
sir.
question. So who you sending the emails to?
Anybody that is a chamber member.
And
And what?
and other people that want to sign up.
Yeah, if you sign up for it, you can go to, from the Facebook page, you can sign up for the
I
newsletter.
get it.
If I get it on my personal, and I get it on
Yeah.
Bank It and for the bank.
So if somebody was living in another state and they saw our Facebook, maybe they are from Alva or surrounding area, they're on the Chamber's website, they can click a link on there to get signed up to receive all these emails.
But those emails are all chamber newsletter.
We have a monthly one that comes out only for the chamber members. And then we do the weekly one, which is for everybody, so that you know what's going on that week of.
And I like just the reminder of what's going on in town. I mean, I think it's real handy, so.
All right, so another analytic that you can look at from Google is our Google business profile. So this is a bigger statistic going from February 2020 to now. And we've had 455 profile interactions with Google, so they click us from Google. 2,500 people have viewed the Alva Chamber profile on Google, which means it pops up over on the right and it's got the address and the phone number and the information over on the right. So we've got a pretty good standing on that. But the majority of it is coming from mobile, so it's important to keep our website, when we get to ours and yours, in a mobile feature so it transitions easily for those people. 380 searches that showed Alva Chamber in the profile. Let's see, I don't know if you want any more of that because I got another slide, but when we look at that, we're pretty excited. Facebook stuff, here's the analytics behind it. We have reached, since October of 2020, 103,000 people. That's pretty huge and really something to continue to grow, but also be pretty proud of. We have 12,300 page and profile visits between that time, so they're checking us out, seeing what's going on in the chamber, seeing what's going on in Alva. 27,000 people were reached through paid search. So to date, we've spent $378 to have that ad show up on people's news feeds. And as a board, we voted to do, I think, $30 a month, so we didn't go crazy, but just a little bit to get us out there and to get more followers through that exchange. We have 2,000 likes on Facebook, which is a 28% increase from the time we started really hitting it hard, which is really, really good. I do the Facebook stuff for Alva State Bank, and these numbers are really, really good compared to us. And I'm working real hard, but they're beating me by a long ways. Highest ranking post is our 30-second commercial, which is really pretty cool. I'm going to show that in a little bit. I missed the 3-minute one. It was at the beginning, and we skipped it. We can go back. So let's see. Potential audience. Okay, so whenever she's looking at the numbers for where the location is for those views, it's Kansas and Oklahoma. And you can define that down too on the paid searches. Let's see, so Instagram also doesn't have quite as much of a following yet. It was started in the same time, but it seems like we're getting more interaction through Facebook, but we are keeping Instagram live as well and posting both of them at the same time. All right, so this is changing of the backgrounds, meaning we're shifting our mindset to Alva tourism. And this is a short list of what 3 things that MOU is asking for. So first is the tourism tax clerical, the visitor center, and the third is tourism marketing. So we'll come back to the slide at the end.
I want to just point out, if you look at your packet on, use that for a second. The MOU is the first 2 pages.
Yeah, if you want to get the MOU out, it should line up with that.
Second, third page is a little bit different font. Got the addendum for the memorandum of understanding. And it looks a little different maybe from last month when you saw it. It's just spruced up a little bit, maybe some italics, fonts, that sort of thing, to help make it a little more readable for you. And so you've got a section of paragraphs 1, 2, and 3, and that's what this section of the presentation is going to go into talking about in depth. And so you can correlate all of this to this and maybe understand it more and better with specific numbers. So.
Yeah, and that's another on the thanking you for making us work this hard. We understand that the money that you're getting in is not what it used to be, and that you do have to do plenty of due diligence to decide where you're spending that money. And we appreciate that fact about the tourism committee. So it is in good faith that we present this information, hopefully every year, to give you what's going on. So the first one, tourism tax clerical services. So originally this was $6,000. And this was part of the confusion last meeting. This started in 2011, and so nothing has changed since then. However, the prep of agendas, minutes, presentations, packets, everything that Jody does for you guys is this section. And we're asking to bump that up to $9,000 because the increased printing costs and the wear and tear on the copier that's at their location at the chamber, ink and toner maintenance, utilities associated with that. That's a little bit of that increase. And I will tell you on the flyers that you get through Bank and little postcards, ours, it has gone up substantially. From my perspective, it's over 1,000, about 1,500 more to send a postcard. So that's part of it. The next part is increased processing time. So I'm going to let Jody talk a little bit about that because I wanted to get a picture of her cranky face to just not, well, I'll let you talk. You go ahead.
Yes, so as you can say, like the report that I gave to reimbursement to Louisville, I had to spend 2 hours to process all of that, and then I had to meet them personally. And so it was just a lot of extra work because some of the reimbursements can take 30 minutes. Some of them can clearly take up to 2 hours, and that one took to 2 hours. Another one that I did recently was a 30-minute one because they had all of the receipts turned in. They had everything properly in their location of what they asked for in their expenses. And then the other ones like that one, I had to ask them line by line, okay, well, no, that does not work with that category. So it's just have added a lot of extra time processing the reimbursements. Sometimes I could get them, the same day, but that one took all last week, and trying to meet up with them was it's a lot of extra work to try to get everyone on page.
Time to sit down and
Yeah.
go through it line by line. So kind of as we've been making this presentation, we're asking for, okay, how do we fix that? And we talked a little bit about making those applications
Yes.
online and giving them a fixed Excel sheet where it adds up those receipts for them, so she just has to check them off, which should clear up some time. But that's going to take time to build a program that can make it digitally available to anybody. And then all of you guys can have access to that packet too and send it out.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, get this, turn it in by this date, whatever the case is. But some sort of stronger procedure on the tourism application and reimbursement part, I think would really, really help. So that's another piece of this increase that we have in the MOU.
I think that's really good, because I don't think Jody should have to be chasing these people down.
No.
I mean, if they want their money, they need to get it together and do it
And
right.
organize, and they need to
yes.
have somebody on their committee that can do that.
Because like I said, the one that they brought me, just, here you go, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And half of the receipts did not go with it, and so I had to we talked through it on Monday, and I was like, we can't use that.
Yeah.
And part of the chamber director tie-in to this is your friendships and knowledge and business partnerships with other towns, other cities. They use something very similar
Yeah.
on their websites to upload applications for refunds. So we're trying to
I think that's a great idea,
but become more up to date.
I mean, $3,000, that's a 50% increase. I mean, I know you haven't had more money on this since its inception, and I get that, but that's, 50%. If I got a 50% raise, I wouldn't have to work, or I wouldn't have to work as much. But it's just, I just feel like it's a lot. I mean, 10 hours a week, if you divide that out, it's like $17 an hour.
That's
some-
what was based on the 6,000.
Okay.
So it's probably more, in some cases, doubled in hours
Okay,
because of the
okay.
description.
So, and the increased printing costs, the paper costs, does that come out of your money?
Yes, it
comes-
does.
Yeah.
Out of the Chamber
The
of Commerce.
chamber, yeah.
Okay, but it didn't come out of your personal money. So this is just money for the chamber to use however. It's not money, you don't get this $6,000 or $9,000 on your paycheck. Is that right?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to,
But I mean, it will
That's
help with the
that's-
utilities and
Yes.
printing, 'cause I
So
know.
for all of the-
Yeah,
okay.
because the
So
city
you don't
does-
get anything from us to pay you at all?
we've
just
got
do it.
We call it a reimbursement because it goes in our bank account.
Right.
That
But
also
you
pays for
personally,
salary.
we don't pay you anything at all?
She gets a
Well-
salary from the Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
yes.
Just from the
Not-
chamber?
not-
But the
she's
tourism,
asking
you
about
get
the
no money from us, you just only,
It's-
Well,
it's that
It
right
all
there.
goes
It's-
into the, it
Yeah.
all goes into the chamber funds, and then that's,
It's
There's
not-
one
they
checking
use that
account.
as part of their budget.
It's
There's
not
one
paid to
checking
the chamber and then turn around and just write a check to.
If I can
Jody.
clarify it, the city of Alva does not write a check
Right.
to Jody Bradford.
Right.
okay,
Correct.
So the city of Alva, the City of Alva Tourism Committee writes a check to the Alva Chamber of Commerce.
right.
Chamber of Commerce uses that money to compensate Jody plus some of these other expenses.
Okay, so you,
In a
so what do
roundabout
we
way,
pay
yes,
you?
that is-
What do we pay you personally? What does the tourism pay the chamber to pay you?
So that would be the 500, but we're asking for the 750. That's what we're like.
So the 700, the extra 250 isn't really going to,
Well, it's going
increase.
to expenses though. I mean, that's how much.
Also, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know,
it's being put into one checking account,
Yeah.
received
right.
from
So
you.
it pays for things
It
in
could.
the
Like
chamber
the
budget.
printing, the
We budget
printing,
that
yeah.
6,000 each year.
Yeah,
We have the other piece that we'll get to in a moment
Okay.
that is going to also be,
What are, I can tell we haven't answered, nobody's answered your question.
I'm sorry.
What is your question?
Okay, I was under the impression that the money that we paid, that Jody got $500 a month from us, from the tourism. She got 500 extra, like, not like a bonus, but for the work that she does for the tourism committee, that she gets 500, at this point, she gets $500 a month, right?
she gets a salary once a month, one paycheck. once a
Okay.
month.
And the money that we pay them, pay the chamber,
Yes.
goes into your general budget.
And we,
And then we pay
It's
you pay
accounted.
Jody the salary out of the chamber.
yes, and we have always accounted for that $500 a month as helping to pay her salary in the chamber's budget, in the
Okay.
chamber's way of
Right?
paying her.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't live on and only receives $6,000.
Right, she
I mean,
gets
just
money from
making
the
that
chamber.
clear.
Yes, she has a chamber salary.
But whether we use that 500 to have 23% of it to go to utilities that 1 month,
Mhm.
or 19% of it to go to printing ink, or $100 of it to go to her salary. You're right, we use that money as we see fit, but we are also budgeted in our own accounting, and we agree with it on our monthly chamber
Okay,
meetings.
so-
And it just is going into the pot
Okay,
to help pay these expenses.
okay. So for example, Jody gets $40,000. I'm just pulling a number because it's an easy number. And then we pay the $500 a month. So she doesn't get 40,000, well,
She
You're
gets
asking if
40,000.
that goes, that
She doesn't get
4,000 raise
40.
goes straight to her. But
she doesn't get 46,000 now because we
No, no,
budgeted
no.
for her.
No.
Okay, so the $9,000, is she going to get a raise?
Well, they're two separate, distinct budget items on our chamber budget. So no, we don't commingle the funds. We reduce the amount that might be paid to her in the salary.
Yeah.
Or utilities to not have to pay for something else, which we'll get into number 2, the 9,000 piece, I think that you're asking in just a moment. But her salary is never raised by 6 or 9. It's
Okay, so she
subtracted.
doesn't get a raise with this?
No,
if we
because
give
the
her-
Chamber of Commerce has other revenue streams that pay her salary.
Right.
This is a reimbursement because she's doing 10 hours of work each week from you guys to do the minutes, and we're
Okay.
just,
It's just like part of her job responsibilities.
it is,
Yeah.
it is.
I just,
She's only getting a
It'd probably be more if they had to break it out and show it to you.
Tourism tax pays the chamber $9,000 for this service, and what they just talked about earlier, I mean, last year it'd be $6,000. We as a committee, through the city, pay the chamber for this to happen,
right.
so. and
So you
that-
don't
that-
get anything extra? You personally don't get anything extra for it?
I just think that
It's just part of her salary.
it's
her job.
budgeted
It's
as
just part of your job?
the chamber board of directors.
Whether
Okay.
you had her sitting there doing your minutes for you or somebody else, Jane Doe sitting there doing your
Okay.
minutes, that'd be the difference. But it just happens to be that the chamber has this partnership of understanding and
Well, that's not
and working
good.
together, that's how it works.
I really think $9,000 is a very bargain, I mean, like, for what they're doing for us.
But also see our next slide.
Yep.
That will go
Okay.
into the
Okay.
visitor center.
Okay.
Okay, so the second piece of that MOU,
Sorry.
there's 3 pieces. So this is the second one, and it is for visitor center staffing and facility support. So this again is part of the staffing that takes care of Jody's salary. Public access to all the brochures, all the information, so anybody that comes to Alva can stop by there first. That's why we love the location. Show up, get anything in the area that they need, and we can help them, direct them to the right place. There's the hours of operation. We do have, they deal with emails about what's going on in Alva, back and forth, phone calls. Jody, how many phone calls do you get a day or a week on?
I mean, it can be from 10 to 20. I mean, like today it was ringing off the hook. So, and then tomorrow it might be 2. You just never know. But roughly, I mean, I'm always on the phone and I'm always having somebody stop in.
This is kind of to be tourism's face in Alva, so that everybody can go there and do it. That's also where Emma is, is housed also, but that's the next slide over.
And the 9,000, we've already approved that
Yes.
amount last year.
Yes.
Yes.
It is not new, correct. And all of the updates that I showed you earlier were on the chamber's budget, not on this one. So you're not paying for the facelift stuff, you're paying to be the face of Alva.
And that also helps with like with my tourism tax, with my red carpet, traveling to those meetings and being involved in that committee too.
Okay, so number 3, this is the third piece, which is the big piece that is marketing and the support that goes in that. That helps to pay Emma. for a part-time position with marketing. Mileage per diem, website is an annual total of $2,200, and then the ads below, I'm gonna break down in the other slides to see what you're getting for those ads and how much we're paying for them, okay? Any questions on that one so far?
So the annual website, are we paying that to an outside firm?
Yes.
Yes, and we have some ideas about how to lessen that fee in the future. So we have an in-house communication specialist that's quite talented at her job and also can build websites, and we're looking into saving some significant amount of money doing it through the chamber.
But like you still have to pay for it to be housed somewhere, and I mean, there's still a cost.
You know, they got us a great start back
Yeah, you
40,
know.
the company
Yeah,
that built the
back 40.
website.
There's
And
a
they still
few-
do.
There's a few editing things that we can't touch with it to update some things, so that's an area that Emma's fighting a little bit on updating.
So Emma works directly with them? Emma works directly with this website?
Yeah, but I've got some analytics that she pulled from the website, so she's trying to stay on top of that too. All right, so part of the marketing these are the brochures that are housed at the visitor center. They look very, very nice.
Emma
Here's
did
another
those
sample.
for
Going
her.
to add one for restaurants next year to kind of grow on this one and elaborate. That map is dynamite for this area, and it looks super crisp and clean.
And I think I brought some of those last month with me. I don't have it.
Visit alvaok.org. Here's the website that is yours. There was some discussion that we need to be working on getting the links for businesses' websites on there, so whenever you scroll down, it's kind of hard to read, but if you go to Visit Alva, where to stay, all the hotels are there, the restaurants are there, and if they have a website, that's where we want to take it next, where anyone wants to take it is to add those hyperlinks on there so it can direct you straight to their website.
Or if they don't have a website, can they link Facebook to it?
Yes.
It's because like there's a lot of restaurants that will have their menu on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think right now Emma's battling is having access to that section. Like whenever you log in to manipulate a website, it might be grayed out because an admin who, back 40 has to get that changed. So that's something that she's working on, she's gonna make some calls about.
Yeah, because none of those links work, and then, like, there's no addresses on
Phone
anything.
numbers or,
There's phone numbers
Yeah,
on,
I
like,
think
all the restaurants have
There's
phone
some sort
numbers.
of at
on
least
some of the
contact on there.
businesses,
On-
but not on all.
But not on all the businesses, and then there's no addresses,
Yeah,
so it's.
definitely an area of need to.
and I think it could be really slick if they can click on
It's
it.
a beautiful,
Go
I
to
mean, I think it looks really
It looks
sharp.
really good, but they
It
could go to
does.
the 818 or they could go to
For
Honor
sure.
Systems or whatever, So I think
And
that'd
that
be
is,
really.
it's definitely something that is on the to-do list. But with that in mind, here's kind of the analytics for you guys' website. So I don't know if you can see that very well because it's a little bit small, but the blue is organic search. So that means somebody just got online and looked for things to do in Alva and you guys came up. And then 20% is social media, so anything that is posted by Emma that has a link to Visit Alva, you're getting a lot of good feed from there. And then direct means that you've got, I don't know what that percentage is in green, 31. A big percentage that are just typing in visitalvaok.com, which is huge. If they already have that memorized, they're just typing that in, you've got them. And that's a really good statistic to have. Let's see, from May 2021 to now, 4.4 thousand people have visited the website. It's been viewed over 5,000 times. They usually stay on about 55 seconds, so that means they're going where they need to find out the information, which is most likely the calendar. 56% of viewers use their mobile devices. So again, mobile is a big deal, and making sure that that formulates to a mobile device, any device, an iPad or whatever, is very important, and you're hitting it from those analytics with room to grow. This is the 30-second video.
Do you want to show the first one, the 3-minute one first, to show you?
Kelly, could you turn the lights off? I think they'll show up a little better.
This first video was designed and publicized a year ago, and that's a portion of the $24,000 that you guys approved the prior year for this marketing piece is what built this commercial. I don't know if anyone's seen it yet, or it's been a while since they've seen it, but this is out there. Yes.
Do you want to get away Northwest Oklahoma has to offer. Located within driving distance of 3 all-natural state parks, Alva is the center of it all. From hiking, exploring, and even thrill-seeking adventures, Alva can help your family create the memories you deserve. Hang out with friends and family at any of the social venues where fun is always on the menu. Or if relaxing is more your style, schedule time at Alva's favorite spa. With many local family-owned shops, you will find something unique to take home to remember your stay. The local university is a vital part of Alva's atmosphere. Northwestern Oklahoma State University hosts many events throughout the year. From sporting events, theater productions, to homecoming activities, the community loves to show their Ranger pride. Come see what Alva has to offer and connect with this friendly community. Give your family the experiences they'll be talking about for decades. Alva has everything, from an old-fashioned ice cream parlor to a renovated historic movie theater with an unbeatable snack bar. Alva is a melting pot for local artists, from museums, statues, local history, and art exhibits. Alva's heart shines through all of the local talent. Outdoor adventures are a must. Pack up your friends and family to visit Oklahoma's largest petting farm and large bale hay maze. Alva offers outdoor activities that can be enjoyed by all ages throughout the year, including art and music festivals. Alva is also proud to be the mural capital of Oklahoma with 33 projects in the area. Visit Alva, where charm and adventure meet.
Alright, so that's the first one, or the longer of the two that we have. And there are areas you've seen from that we can improve upon because those businesses are no longer located there.
And just, also, that was about, what, a $2,800 project that your advertising tourism money went to. the
Yeah,
chamber.
videos aren't cheap, so, or easy.
Alright, this is a 30-second one that I'll show you later. We are actually using in some of the ones on your list to approve.
Do you want to get away without traveling too far from home? Alva Chamber of Commerce invites you and your family to come experience everything Northwest Oklahoma has to offer. Family-oriented outings is exactly what drives our area. Visit all our local, unique, and family-owned businesses during your stay with us. Give yourself the experiences you deserve, and because we know your family means everything to you, come see ours in Alva.
Alright, so that's a short, quick one that I'll tell you where that's going later. Red Carpet Country, I think last time everybody felt pretty good about that one. So 45,000 copies are distributed. Red Carpet Country kind of does a lot of the distributing for us and puts them in their locations all over Oklahoma. This is the ad that is used. And we've got a picture of that if you want. Melissa will hand those out. That one costs $2,400. This is a new one that Jody's done a little research and gotten a heck of a deal on that she would like to have budgeted to advertise in. So that one is 44. Those are the small series. You should have a copy of. Oh, actually, it's in your MOU, broken down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a new one. The cover of that's very modern and trendy. We try to get our name out there, and we have one ad that we use for pretty much everything. Not saying that that's the one and only. We can get working on new advertising if you guys see fit, or different advertising for each one, whatever you guys think. Outdoor guide. This one is also budgeted. This is one that we've been in before, and those are the statistics for that you should have in your packet to tell you how many times that's being.
Hang on, just a second.
Oh,
This also, I'm not sure which one it's listed as. There's the Red Carpet Country membership, Red Carpet Country guide ads, and the tourism conference. Oh, those are, yeah. This is also an ad. This is a map. And I found this down at the tag agency downtown. There is the map of Oklahoma, as you can see. And then on the back, we have a big ad, that same ad design on it. So I don't know, I can't identify exactly which one. It's part of that on your MOU that also paid for this. So this is something I don't think you've seen yet around, going around. So in other words, it's more of money that we've spent.
And that the outdoor guide is the smaller, more like a National Geographic level or quality, I guess, booklet. Got more going on with that. So that's one of the items. So I'm going to blow up this itemized sheet here in a minute to show you the savings that she's tried to get. This is a pretty cool one. So that short 30-second video that starts with the little boy and the owl cut out. This ad is for Travel OK website, and it runs 430,000 times a year, and they're giving that to us free. So it's just going to be part of their rotation, and that's a pretty big viewing to capture them for a short 30 seconds that says, hey, come home to Alva. So that's,
And so we'll eventually update that commercial, so it's not going to be the same one over and over. You did pay for that 30-second commercial a year ago, so it needs renewed. But it's 430,000 times a year is a tremendous amount. Whether you're looking at the website or watching OETA on Saturday mornings, we're on there a lot. I don't know if you've seen it, but I have. It's pretty cool to see us come up on that. This is the actual physical outdoor guide with, guess what, that same ad on it. But
and like I said, if that's something that you feel like is stagnant, then we'll work on revamping that. All right. That one, next one is Oklahoma Today, and this one is discounted about a little over 30% to give us a better deal on this one, this publication. I don't think we have a copy of that one, do we? Oh, here, actually, yeah, Jody said that she got an email earlier today that showed our ad in this particular publication.
that you approved $2,080 2 months ago on. That's what that bought to go in that magazine, Oklahoma Today, that we don't have here, a copy. So when we're asking for $7,000, which our next slide will go into that, all of these things that we're talking about is part of that $7,000.
It's the third part of the, and the third part of the
For next year.
Yes.
So here's a breakdown of that so you can actually see. So the travel guide is the one that Jody wants to do, that's the bright color, very trendy, very
This
modern
one.
book.
This one. We're not in this one. She'd like to be in this one.
And where do you get those?
I picked this up at the tag agency, but we also got a whole shipment of boxes galore at the chamber this
Okay,
week.
so is
with
that
these.
just like when you go in and people have all those little brochures from different things, that's where they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll be
Tag on-
taking
yeah.
those to businesses to
Yeah.
even.
The hotels.
And how many go out throughout Oklahoma, like at other
I
places?
believe the stats are on that other screen, maybe on the printout that I gave you would be.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't have
well,
to-
maybe not because we're not in it.
So if
On
like,
this
if
particular
other
one.
people, like, if I wanted to put some out at the tech center,
Oh,
could
yeah.
I come by and grab a stack and
Oh,
put them in
yeah.
our like brochure rack and?
Put it
In
on
fact,
the
I
boxes.
highly recommend everybody do it at their business. It's got Alva in it. It's not just for the tag agency or the chamber of commerce.
Well,
And they're free. There is
I
no
mean,
cost
I
to
know
them.
this was a long time ago, but when I worked at the chamber, that was one of our main requests, was for that people would come in and pick that up. And I don't know if that's the same at the hotels or the restaurants, but I mean, that was the main requested piece of information, that and a map. They like the map.
They
So
love the
now they
maps.
don't need maps as much as they once did.
They still do.
But, well, some people like to be able to see,
Yeah.
you know, but the OK Travel Guide was really, I mean, it was something that always, we gave them almost all away.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I want to
And they
get
are
us
high
in
quality
there.
print, so they're kind of like keepers. You can put in the bathroom and keep them, you know.
pass them
And
around.
they are kind of interesting to look through, especially if you're looking for something to do, you know, so that's,
So that left column there under rate, it's got $12,460. That's the value of the items that we've presented here, that you're passing around the table.
So they're giving that Discover commercial to us free and giving us a discount on Oklahoma Today.
And 7,120 is on the expenditure plan for the 2023 term. And I broke that out with subtractions showing which ones are free and which ones are discounted, so.
can we run that social media, the 30-second one on our social media too, or not?
Oh, yeah.
We do, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, if you wanted to put it at the next one.
No, I mean on the chamber's social
Yeah,
media,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
on
and it can
Visit
be
Alva
shared.
and
Yeah.
on your,
Yeah.
you know.
And we should invite other businesses too,
Yeah.
because out of state would
It's
share it on
gonna go
ours,
on
you
the
know.
Woods County Economic Development.
On their website,
Yes.
yeah. So, I mean, I think those are all really
It can
great
be
places
used
to
on
put it.
Northwestern's
I was gonna say,
website if they wanted to.
some of the 3-minute one has been used as a recruitment tool, if you wanna say, that they've given out. So I think that's really awesome that
Yeah.
that's been viewed like that too.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But that is an area that we could work on to ask local businesses, hey, put this,
And put these items in your
easy to do.
business to
Yeah,
see if anybody wants them.
I promise people take them. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially if they know I was in it.
yeah, but I mean, I think that they, I mean, I just think it's something people are interested in, so.
So now we're back to the 3 numbers at large that equal a large number. And I hope that this has kind of given you an idea of what the value is of the chamber and what we're doing on our own, and what we need is some assistance with. Do you have any questions or any other clarity that we can provide?
I believe we would not be here today with these items in front of you had it not been for someone's original thought years ago to start this relationship between the Alva Chamber. And that was the 6,000 and 6,000 for many years. And it went along great. We saw the idea that we wanted to be up with our advertising like other cities, be an impressive print to represent us. We're not just a small town up here. We do actually know a lot about this sort of thing. So,
Well, and we have some neat events to promote.
Yes.
I mean, I think some unique things that we do here that are
and it
different.
is just started, basically. We're in the second year. I feel like it's just going to continue to grow. And that's exciting for us.
I just want to convey back to the committee. If you look at the ordinance and under section E, your responsibilities, if not for this relationship with the chamber, how do you accomplish these things? That's really all, you know, whether it's with the chamber or with some other entity, if not for, how are you going to accomplish these things? And that's what this committee has to determine. These are your responsibilities. And, you know, whether that's item 1, promoting public awareness and education as to the value of tourism and conventions. Do you do that? Do you do that? Without this relationship with the chamber, do you do that? Number 2 is gather information and ideas, conduct research, develop advertising, promotional programs, materials, and equipment, travel to bid conventions and trade shows, events to promote the city's image so that the city will be developed and maintained as a convention, tourism, and recreation center. Without this relationship between the tourism committee and the chamber, do you do that?
Well,
And
the chamber only goes to the red carpet things.
what do you do without the chamber? What do you guys do without the chamber?
No, I'm just saying,
And data capital.
I'm not saying that the chamber meets those criteria, so.
I'm saying you don't at all without an extra partner.
Right.
You don't meet them at all.
Right.
That's all I'm trying to say. And so if it's not the chamber, then who or how do you meet these responsibilities? And if it is something in these responsibilities that the chamber's not fully meeting,
I strongly urge you guys to commit to a subcommittee, and pick 2 of you, so that you don't have a quorum and have, public meetings, but pick 2 of you to work with the chamber on developing these things the way that you see fit. Because I think this has to be a working relationship moving forward, and I think the committee owes it to, itself to make sure that the chamber is advertising in ways that you see fit. And I think you can work with them. It doesn't have to be presentations in front of this board to have 2 of your members, go and help make sure that your interests are being served.
And we will give analytics on a monthly basis, quarterly basis. It's going to be completely transparent. What we spend on, we will come before this committee if something is under budget, like drastically, say we do get. We're going to have to pay Emma something if she wants to take on the website portion. But are we going to be able to pay her $2,000? I don't know. Maybe it only gets contracted for $1,000 with her. But we'll tell you. You'll know we didn't spend that $1,000. We're just the entire purpose of the memorandum of understanding was to lessen the amount of paperwork. If we could just bill it on a quarterly basis, we agree that that's what it's going to pay for another year like it did the year before, and we do it 4 times a year to get paid quarterly, $10,750. And we will be great stewards of the money, and we will show you what we've done with it, much like this, or any other fashion, or if you want to come look at things, if you want to look at quotes that we might get, definitely. We do want to work together.
I will say this is definitely the most prepared that you guys have been, and I feel better about a lot of it. I don't know that I'm 100% on board. It's still a lot of money. It's still a huge chunk of our budget, but I see the benefit of a lot of it. I know that we've been paying, if you go back every time you guys ask us for money to do a whole promotion, it's $12,000 here, it's $14,000 here, I know the money's going out there. You're going to get it one way or another, or you have been so far. But I just want there to be some serious accountability. And, I see a lot of good things. Like, I feel like we should have requested even to see all this before. I didn't. I should have said, hey, where is that ad that we paid for? Where is, that commercial, that 30-second commercial that you talked about? I didn't even know if it had been made or not,
We've spent a lot of time going back just in the last week or so to gather all this information, where now we know what we can gather as we go through the new year.
Right.
And it'll be much easier on us
Yeah, I just
as
think there
well.
needs to be, just more communication,
Yeah.
not just the coming in and asking for this and then we never see you guys again, but also us not asking you, hey, where is that? I want to see what do we get for our money, or, the
And I
tourism
feel like
tax
that's
money.
the same way with other organizations that are coming to ask for the full amount.
Yeah,
I think that some of them need to come back and talk about what they've done.
yes.
I mean, yes,
agree to
they
that.
can come up here and present for 2 minutes,
Yeah.
but are they really showing what? Did,
That's good.
did they say
True.
how many people stay in the hotels? Did they
Yes.
say how many have? That was, with the car show. Just things like that. I feel like that isn't, if you're gonna do it to us, it needs to happen to the other ones also that are asking for money.
Anybody who gets-
Of course, they do also have to show what they spend every penny on.
Yeah.
Same with us too. So, and that's what we're doing
Right,
right now.
you are, you are, I'm not arguing, yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying, it's the same.
this tax was made to help Alva with tourism.
Right.
And I think that this absolutely shows us that that's what you guys are doing with this money. And I know it's a huge chunk of the budget, and it's just adding up on my calculator how much all of it is. It's a huge chunk of the budget plus what we've already committed. But, they're giving us this information, other people are just,
Yeah.
And every other grant that you're granting, we're promoting
Yeah.
for Alva.
Exactly.
So we're
Yes.
doing their job too, every time you give them money,
Yeah.
we're helping it succeed.
It is a huge chunk of the budget, and I don't want to understate that. I will tell you, that if you were to ask me to accomplish that, all of that, for this committee, the number would be well north of $43,000.
Or if we were to employ another firm to do it for us, it would be.
Like we've done in the past.
We have done that in the past, way more, with less of accountability.
Exactly.
And I mean, I just.
And you have full control over asking me anything. I'm here every month. I can pull things, I can have Emma pull things. Like Tricia said, we're full transparent, we're not hiding anything.
Right.
Well, and I mean, if,
and
you
when
know,
Jody
if we
goes
want
to-
to have a subcommittee that meets with
Yeah.
Jody
Or
once a
in-
month
yeah.
at lunch to go over what they've done, or every quarter to go over what they've done before the final ads are turned in, so that
Yeah.
there can still be changes made. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I
let's
feel
come
like
down to the
if you were
chamber
to-
for an hour and talk with her. I mean, I think that that's a great idea.
Yeah,
So-
I'm open to anything like that.
And I was going to say real quickly, I feel like if you did hire an outside firm, which I don't recommend, but for various reasons, they're not in Alva. They're not invested in Alva. We are at the chamber. She may do a lot of stuff for the tourism tax committee, but she also, in the same hand, out of the same pot, she is also doing for the Alva Chamber of Commerce. We all help each other. When one succeeds, the other succeeds. And we're trying to find a way of conveying that information to you so you know. And it's difficult to do, but we're trying.
And this is the strongest, in my opinion, I've only been on the board for 2 years, that the chamber has been as far as policies, procedures, and bylaws, and following the rules, and meeting the guidelines that we've set up so that we can be good stewards of whatever money comes in, whether it be our own fundraising or help from other entities like you guys. So we're structured, and that's why, you know, some of the stuff that we've come to in the past has been at odd times, and to add this, or whenever we took over social media, and that was kind of a thing. And so now this is a once a year, here are the 4 times to pay, here's what you get for your money. You know, I feel like it's a lot more organized now, and moving forward, we'll continue to be able to offer you whatever answers you need to the questions.
Okay, I'm still kind of stuck on this salary too, just because I see every good thing go to the top, and then the good stuff doesn't get out there. And I'm not saying that's what this is at all, but the salary thing, I don't know what the city pays, what
I don't think the city's
City
paying
doesn't pay
anything.
anything.
or not the city, the chamber, what the chamber
Okay, I
pays.
mean, it's no secret whatsoever.
Yeah,
Our budget
I don't know,
shows-
I don't want to know what she makes, I don't
Okay,
care about
well,
that.
it would maybe help to explain it more.
I just want to know, does this mean that, okay, a stipend, I take that as like
I meant to delete that, I asked them if
extra
I should
money.
put that.
Yeah.
No.
No, it shouldn't say
That's my
stipend.
fault. My
That was a
fault.
mistake. So
Okay, so it's
She-
not a
it-
stipend, this is just
she-
going to
Into the pot.
the
She
pot
asked
to
me that.
pay for whatever, the copies, the electric bill, that's gonna be twice as much, that's where that money goes.
This
Cost of
18,
paper, holy cow, the cost of paper.
this 18,000,
All of this, right?
more than half pays her salary. The other half is in the payroll taxes and insurance and all the other
I
items
went
are
and
paid
got
for by the
one,
chamber.
so she won't have to
I mean,
pay.
I think every person, should have a raise, but I read that as
But
you're
that's-
getting an $18,000
Okay,
raise
no, that's
per
not
year.
correct. She's
That's
not
how
had a
I'm reading
raise.
that, and so that's
She's
why
not
I'm-
had a raise in several
you should
years.
have a raise.
It's up to
And
our
you should
budget.
give her a
It's up to
raise.
our budget. Relies greatly upon
We just
your
heard from
support.
Terry.
But you shouldn't have
Yes.
$18,000, out of
Terry,
the tourism tax.
I will tell you that Tricia showed me their budget
Uh-huh.
the other day when I met with her. And the budget for the chamber 20 years ago, 22, whatever, is not significantly different than it was today.
Yeah, there's been about a 23% cost of living increase,
Yeah,
cost of
it's not-
everything, inflation,
There's
all
not
that,
much
since
difference. And it's
since
not a
2011.
23% difference. And
So,
I was shocked.
but see, that is where I'm having such a hard time. I'm seeing this stipend.
No, don't say
Okay.
that.
No,
No,
don't
just forget that's there.
Yeah, I put that
Okay.
there, and I asked
Okay.
Trish, I said, should I call it that? She's like, no, don't call it that. I didn't delete it.
Okay,
That's me.
It's okay.
okay, no, you're fine.
So,
And like I said, you should get a raise. You work hard and you do stuff for us, and we should even,
Well,
if
our budget
it's-
is normally, our budget is, our year end is September 30th.
Yeah,
And we start our budget process, our preliminary budget process in July. We couldn't this month
Yeah.
because we're waiting to hear on this. That's why we came to you in April
mhm.
to try to be proactive with this. So next month, yes, she's under an annual evaluation, which we're working on, and yeah, in the next couple of months, we'll be discussing it for sure.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well,
And I think what's important, Terry, is whether it's Jody or whether the chamber has 3 or 4 people,
right.
your contract's with the chamber. And so they're always gonna have somebody to provide that service for
Yes.
you, whether it's Jody or somebody else. And if Jody doesn't like what they pay her, she'll move on to better things.
Right. Okay, but
But I
yeah,
love my community, so.
I'm reading this and it has her name on there and it has her name on there. and
we
so
just
it
didn't
looks-
want to
I think
confuse.
that's
Yes.
the person that's responsible.
That
for it,
is,
More than the
you know,
person
just
who
how
gets
I
the money.
interpreted it,
Right,
I
yeah.
misinterpreted it, I will say. So, and then also, I think there needs to be someone, I would like something in there that says that no ads go out, no new ads go out without our approval.
Well, I think that was what, that was what Kelly was
And
referring
if,
to about
you know,
having
if
a
we had to do a
subcommittee.
subcommittee to do something like that, because
Yeah, you
if
guys can do that.
if it's the money, but you guys don't send out a new ad without us seeing it, you know, print a new brochure. I mean, if we're doing the brochures, because, you know, there's some things that I think have been missed, or,
And just to point out one thing, those brochures that you saw pictures of, those are all chamber funds that
Yeah.
paid for that.
yeah,
So, would we like to be able to use some of the 25 for that? Maybe, but no, we're gonna be doing these other things. So,
These are the ads
The
for the
ads,
subcommittee
the,
to review,
maps
is what-
and
what's right
magazines.
there. Right.
yes,
are just the marketing piece. the
Yes.
25.
Yeah.
And yes, we can
That'd be an easy thing, once you get
CC
approved
you
by
on the
ad.
email.
I mean, I think the website looks fantastic, but, and once again, if we're paying for it, you know, I want the links to work. I want,
Right.
you know, if we're not, I'm not paying for it, but if this
If
as
the
a
committee is paying for
I
it,
mean,
right.
Put money towards it, we
If-
need it to work.
I want it to work, you know, I want things to be spelled right. I want to be able to click a link and it works. I want
Well,
there
and
to
if
be an
it's not, I
address.
want to be able to call Emma and go, hey,
Yes, or call
I
someone.
want to tell you this before anyone else notices it. You know?
Right.
So,
That's right, to get to one, you have to get to the,
Mhm.
or to get to one, you get to the other one.
Yeah.
So we're, once again, working together.
Yeah,
When they go
and
to
if
the
there's-
chamber, they can get a link to go to you. If they go to you, they can get a link to go to the chamber. And once again, partnering.
And it's a work in progress too, I get that as well, but, okay, all right, I think that's all.
Well, thank you for your time and your consideration and for pushing us, because really, with all the work that we've done on the strategic plan, this just makes sense, that this is the next level of professionalism that needs to be portrayed to everybody that's investing in the chamber.
Thank you. Very nice presentation.
this is like 5 copies.
Oh, you have 5 copies?
Yes, so.
Would anybody else like a copy of
I'll
the?
give it to you.
I had mine already.
And mine.
I've been trying to kind of prepare myself for this.
All right. So next is action on after discussion. Do we have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding?
I'll make a motion to
I'll
approve
second.
memorandum of understanding.
Motion and a second.
Connor,
Aye.
Wanda,
Aye.
Terry,
And this is good for 1 year, right? Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Norval.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is remarks and inquiries by the Tourism Tax Committee. Wendy, you have anything for us?
The arena board is not met,
Okay.
so I will love to give you an update as soon as they do. So,
Anybody else? Connor?
So,
I do have an announcement. December will be my last meeting on the Tourism Tax Committee. I wanted to announce a long time ahead, give the chamber time to do their research, and if they pick somebody, bring them in and get them up to speed. You guys will have to, that's when all the new politicians take office in January, so you guys will have new people and we need to appoint new chairman and everything at that point. So,
How long have you been on the committee?
since the day it started. I actually was one of the guys who went out and helped Melinda sell it.
How long is that?
22?
20,
Is it 20 or 22?
20,
20, it was 2000.
it was 2000,
Yeah.
so
Year
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 22 years.
I mean, I think the
No, I
ordinance
thought he
was,
was asking when it started, yeah.
I think the
started.
ordinance was passed in November of 2020. And so it probably didn't, the committee probably didn't develop until 2001. But yeah, it's been 21. Yeah. So,
Cool.
thank you, Norval, for your service.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Lots of great things have happened in that.
yes, a lot of great things have happened for this community because of, the tourism tax, and so it's amazing.
So with that, nobody has anything else, we are adjourned.
Congratulations.